Paul Chek is one of the world's leading holistic wellness experts, and this is a short clip of him sharing a profound experience he had while practicing Tai Chi. After hearing what he has to say, we'll come back to discuss if there's anything that we can learn from these profound experiences that he would even describe as being similar to psychedelic experiences without actually having to take psychedelics.
You can begin having these profound experiences that go beyond even a samadhi or a union experience with all that is to and through Tai Chi, I broke through into very profound non-dual experiences where some of them where I became pure awareness, but some of them went even beyond that to where there was absolutely no thing. And in fact, I didn't even know I was alive. I didn't know who I was. Um, I don't really have words to describe it, but you go to this place where you could say it's unconditional and there's not a thought, there's nothing. In fact, I'll tell you real quickly about one of the experiences I had. I'd probably been doing Tai Chi for about 14 or 15 years when this happened. And at that time, I was coming home at night. I'd spent a year doing Egyptian sun gazing as well. And I was also a vegetarian at the time. And I did the Tai Chi ruler practice quite consistently. I did it every day for 18 years, sometimes twice a day. And on this particular day, I got home at about 5:30. Maybe the sun was going down, and it was the energy, the heat was dropping. And I started doing my normal Tai Chi practice, just like you and I did. And the next thing I know, Angie, my second wife, came down into the garden. She says, "Paul, we've been calling you for over an hour for dinner. What are you doing?" And I was high as a kite. I was like I was on 5 hits of LSD. And I mean, I was, of course, straight as ever, but I was just blissed out to the max. But somehow, Andre, my body was doing that Tai Chi, and I went into a state where there was not a Paul, there was not a thought, there was not an awareness, I don't have words for it. It was an abyss of emptiness. And my body was doing that rhythmic Tai Chi for an hour and 40 minutes. When I looked at the clock, because I looked at the clock right when I started, I'd been out there for an hour and 40 minutes. And it felt like I just started. I had no sense of time whatsoever. And I've had many experiences like that in plant medicines, but they're very different on plant medicines because of the nature of the plant medicine.
Obviously, it was fascinating to hear how profound of an experience Paul's describing that he had, especially when he compares it to those that he's had while on plant medicines. And if you have had a plant medicine experience, then you would also maybe question how is it even possible that someone could have an experience like that without having to consume any substances. What I could say, and I'm not here to in any way compare where I am at on my journey to where Paul is. Obviously, he's been practicing these exercises for a long time, but I've also had very similar experiences with meditation. And what I can say is that from my perspective, these insights come from integrating these practices into your everyday life as if it's just another part of who you are. You're not consciously going home and saying, like, okay, I'm going to go practice meditation when I go home. It's just something that you decide to do in the moment, almost as if you are using a tool to help you solve a problem. And the end result is an open minded, profound experience without the hallucinations, without the intoxicating feelings. But that's every bit of what Paul is describing right there in the moment. It's kind of like a friend who is trying to tell you an important message. And there are a couple of different ways that that message can be delivered. Through psychedelics, it's kind of like your friend is punching you in the face. Whereas through these exercises, they're kind of just thumping you in the arm. So the question is, are you prepared to listen to the message that comes from a thump on your arm? Or do you really need to be punched in the face before you truly begin listening to the message that's trying to come to you. I want to know where you're at. Have you ever had an experience like this, whether it's through yoga, meditation, Reiki, Tai Chi, any alternative therapy, any holistic wellness practice? Have you personally had any type of experience that was of the level of profundity that Paul Chek is describing right there? Let me know in the comments below. This is an unbelievably fascinating topic of discussion for me. And subscribe to this channel if you thought this was a fascinating topic of discussion and if you would like to see more videos like this one. And until the next one, I love you all. Peace.